We'll be talking matters poetry, and I feel like Cardiac, trying to explain. I feel like a fellow poet should even describe you, fully. Who is Cardiac Poet?
Cardiac Poet is a versatile artist.
You're na jumingia nayo.
Vile inafaa, man. Vile inafaa. Yeah, Cardiac mwaze ni multidisciplinary artist. Mimi ni poet, musician. Bado kama uko na wera ya voiceover tunaweza fanya. Cardiac bado ni mwana mitindo. Unaona?
So multidisciplinary, you're quite disciplined in what you do. Multidisciplinary.
Yeah.
Hopefully wasanii wako hapa nje wanafaa kujiintroduce hivyo. I'm a multi-discipline, lakini vitu wanaimba. Anyway, we'll get to that. Let's talk about, spoken word. There's someone you saw, and it was a fellow poet. She was saying that as presenters, we say that local content isn't really, you guys aren't really bringing up the vibe, So, but then have you heard of poetry?
That's the big question.
Here we are. Let's talk about poetry. For you, Cardiac Poet.
Yes.
I've listened to your pieces for quite a long time. By the way, I do love them. But when did you start for you? Why jump? Because you also do music.
Yeah.
Why did you say let me stick around with poetry for a bit?
Well, professionally, I started poetry around 2017. Yeah, this back in the streets of Mombasa, 001. Well represented. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, Mombasa well represented. Ndani ya Little Theatre, under the tutelage of Hilary Namanje. Yeah.
Hiyo kizungu yote mtu azijua ni mtu wa Mombasa.
Mwanangu tuweza ipigia Kiswahili pia.
Tafadhali tutoka kizungu sababu tukienda Kiswahili kumenikanganya mwanangu.
Usijali.
Tuendelee lakini basi.
Yeah, so like it has been a journey from Mombasa coming into Nairobi. Nairobi nilikuja sababu ya shule, University of Nairobi, comrades pia well represented. Nikaisomea pia. Nimefanya literature na performing arts.
10 years ama ngapi?
Usijali bro, usijali.
Yuvenye hiyo shule na wafanyanga.
Pale huwezi maliza man.
Unakuwa fresha miaka 3.
Bro. Tuliingia ndevu sija connect yani. Sasa tunatisha mpa.
Anyway.
Yeah, so it has been a journey from Mombasa to Nairobi. The art scene pia, unaona, like it's been a journey also for poetry. Tumetoka mbali because I believe there was a time people did not familiarize sana na poetry. It was not given a lot of focus, but I believe we've come a long way. Now you have poets releasing albums. We are having shows. Like yesterday we had a sold out show at Ukumbi Mdogo. It's called Out of the Closet, curated by Revolutionary Speaker. Ilikuwa na lineup moto sana, unaona. So coming from a point where watu walikuwa hawatujui na hatutambui, to say like poets are putting out work, we are holding out shows,
even doing collabs and all that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this though. I've interacted with a few poets, and I'd say 3/4 of them come from Mombasa. What is it with you Mombasa guys and poetry?
It's amazing. The streets of Mombasa, we have so many poets. What I love about Mombasa and poetry is that every poet is unique in their own way. Everyone has their own flow. Everyone has their own style. But if you come to Nairobi, no shade to my brothers, but most of you sound similar, maybe because they listen to the same people. So if they can just like broaden their scope, yani, itasaidia pia writing yao tofauti. But all in all, I believe like art is just like a blank canvas where each artist comes with a different shade of color.
Okay.
Once you put all that together, it becomes a beautiful, inakuwa fit yani, inakuwa rangi poa.
You ni wisdom tupo tu imejaa hapo. Speaking of matters, the whole writing and all that, for it matters, anti-terrorism, the whole peace, whole mental awareness, some timeless,
timeless
stuff,
content.
some timeless content. Tell me about that, and also the whole Lengo guide in Atlanta. How's the journey been and all that?
Okay. So once it comes to writing, I believe as artists, you're not just supposed to entertain, but edutain as well. And for us, edutain, you're supposed to edutain. Now, when coming up with content, you're supposed to come up with pieces aligned to some certain themes, you see. Like if you can align your pieces with the 16 SDGs, it elevates you, puts you at a place where you can also approach corporates and try to push whatever they are pushing. Because at the end of the day, you must look for where you will get this bag.
Yeah, true.
So how you package your stuff and the areas and the thematic concerns you choose to address, hiyo ndio itakuweka kwa limelight. Na sasa Matters lengo guide na talanta. Actually, I'll say this proudly. I'm actually the only poet to win that award twice. I won it in 2019 and 2021. Mombasa, yeah.
And moving forward, are we to see some more of Lengo Guide in Atlanta and all that? It is basically the film production of it and all that?
Yeah, definitely.
Let's talk about your latest release by Grace, the whole collab with Grace, talking about Matters, peace and all that. How did you, because this is not the first time you've worked with Grace.
Yeah, shout out to Grace, by the way.
How was it by the way working with her the first time and now later, coming into trying again with her?
Yeah, I normally say for any collab to happen, you first need to vibe with the person you're collaborating. It's not just about like how good an artist is, but what can we do once we come together? Like what can we put out? So shout out to Grace. She's my niece actually.
Oh really?
Yeah, runs in the family. Talent runs in the family. First project we did with producer called Petrus Codman. Big up to him. He has recorded most of my pieces. So our first project was called Jasiri. It was about body positivity. We released it sometime Valentine. You guys can check it out on all digital streaming platforms.
Okay.
Cardiac Poet kila mahali. So after the first project, we really vibed and clicked. And then our most recent project together, it's called Let Peace Win. It was during that time of elections and all that. So we were just calling guys to order like tutulie mwanangu shana. Wasitukoroge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, so you have a collab with Calligraph Jones.
Yo.
How did that? Okay, did you like did he have the whole freestyle before? Then you say that let me jump on this. Or,
yeah, it was during that ordinary challenge. Yeah, a lot of us hopped on it. Yeah, but collaborations to look out for. I have a song out with Regan Dandy from Kilifi, and also I've stayed about a week in Nairobi. I've already linked up with Caterpillar and Black Hawk. So wait on it, yeah.
That's going to be interesting. I'm looking at the whole vibe that Caterpillar has.
Yeah, and what I bring to the table.
And what you bring to the table, it's a whole different kind of blend of
cocktail.
And all that. And speaking of by the Caterpillar, most, or rather a number of spoken word artists, the whole poets, they opt to venture into, speak of gengeton, speak of the whole different genres of music that we have. And, say, poetry, you did me well, but then it's quits for me in Matters poetry. Why though?
Actually, you can't steer away from poetry because it forms the foundation. Because even once you come to rap it's breathing.
How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political...
In a song, singing, rapping and all that, but the...
How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political
All change of style comes in when the poets say
How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga,
and music bands every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Chris, or which one do you prefer?
I want to bless you with something different, maybe something that you've not had.
All right. No, thank you. Bless us, definitely. I'm ready to do all this.
Okay. Love is the very fiber that holds us. Ni ile stuff inavunja zote borders. The dialect you utter should not even matter. we all have our flaws at the same time our laws. Tutumie hii constitution kupona, tutumie hii katiba katiba. Ukijudge mtu haraka, it's you who will lose. Ati venye nani ameweka nati akona screw loose. Ati venye nani ameweka dreadi unasiumana dread company. But come mami, si sote tuweza kuwasema ati kama mi. Ati venye nani ni Msomali una msoma hali ati akona kila personality, ilhali tuhitaji kila person kwa hii society. Eti venye nani anaitwa Ali, basi wezi kumjali, ujali kaywala au hali. Si ata Halima hali mahali mko, maana akija mwamonyesha vituko. Eti venye anaitwa Saidi unasiumeni gaidi, haezi kufaidi baada Ramadhan yesi afeidi. Jirani leo hiwa mgeuza hasidi, na sidiman vitu mingi ni PC rain convectionally ndio tupate relief. Ni belief yangu kuwa sote tunaweza tangamana, maana ta watchman alale kuibiwe yenda wame west get ulinzi unaanza mimi na wewe. Wale tutumbushie Mola lisimpate moya.
I realized most poets really have to use the whole si ama unacheki si unacheki, but then because you're closing your social media remarks before I also tell my viewers, rather the viewers, si unacheki tunafaa kufunga juu social media remarks.
My parting shot out there to other artists, if you're an artist, tafuta community yako mazee, fanye kitu jibrand poa ini biz. Yani naweza ambia vitu mingi lakini because of time, yani know your craft, know where your money is. On all digital streaming platforms ni Cardiac Poet kila mahali man. Ingia Spotify, ingia Boomplay, I've curated a playlist maze ya nini ya poetry yote yani. Kenyan spoken word poetry curated by yours truly. Sikizeni jamaa, tuko na content mbaya.
Nimeshukuru man.
Likewise.